Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all three past performance formats. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer taking a look at the DRF race of the day for Friday, October the 4th. It's opening day of the Keeneland Fall Meet, and our race of the day is the 9th. It's the Grade 1 Alcibiades for 2-year-old fillies going a mile and a 16th, an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. And what a way to kick off our Keeneland Fall meeting with a great deal for DRFTV viewers, 10% off all DRF past performances. Use the coupon code DRFTV10. Shop now with the QR code. Here's the field for the Grade 1 Darley Alcibiades. Remember to access your free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Mike, it looks like the strength of this field comes from the outside with our two morning line favorites. The 8 Immersive, the 7 Quiet Side just ran 1-2 in a competitive edition of the Grade 1 Spin Away at Saratoga.
Both ran really well in that spin away too, over a wet track, but they did both run really well. And I agree with you. I think the strength maybe is toward the outside in here. But listen, it's just one of those races where, everybody, all 8 of these fillies have to prove that they can get a distance of ground. 2-turn debuts all around.
Let's throw up our Timeform US pace projector. Timeform US believes this pace could be very hot, and I wonder how hot it really will be. The 3 Liam in the Dust is quick, make no mistake about it. I expect her to be on the early lead. The Queen's MG has shown some tactical speed in sprint races and can be close. Quiet Side as well. I'm just not sure they're going to be blazing up front.
I kind of had the same take you did. I'm not so sure they're going to be flying up there, but I guess we'll see how it all plays out. And when I looked at this pace, Dan, I get the 3, 5, and 7 will be forward in here. I thought the 4 would maybe be the horse that was on the early lead in this race stretching out, but I guess we'll see what happens.
That's Rich City Girl going turf to dirt and stretching out in distance. Remember, it's a short stretch, the first wire at Keeneland at a mile and a 16. So the horse with the fastest Timeform US late pace rating, the 6 Quick Kick, got to get started early. We'll kick things off with the number 1 Continuity, who's 20-1 on the morning line, although she's 2 for 2 in her career. She scored on debut in a very nice spot, a restricted maiden at Ellis Park, and Eddie Keneally knows how to place these horses. Found a good first level allowance at Colonial going 3/4 of a mile. This filly showed good tactical speed, got a really nice trip, just parked 3 wide off the speeds, and then put the boots to them in the stretch. Respectable buyer of 79 in that most recent start, and this horse is certainly bred to go long. She's a have to carry streak to win the Grade 2 marathon that they usually have Breeders' Cup weekend.
Yeah, I saw that too. A lot of distance on the bottom of this pedigree, so I suspect this filly will stretch out just fine. And I don't have really any knocks on her first 2 starts. I know it's a very low buyer on debut. I'm going to say that buyer's probably wrong. This horse did a lot of running in there, though, hooked up with that runner-up from a long way out, got the better of that horse, and then really moved forward last time. That was an easy win.
Dam also could show a little bit of route ability, a stakes winner going a mile on the turf in England. The number 2 is Sherbini, who is certainly hoping that Timeform US pace projector of a fast pace is going to be correct, because Sherbini just doesn't have a lot of early speed for Mark Casse, but she'll kick on as she did in the spin away last time out, finishing 3rd over that muddy track behind Immersive and Quiet Side. I have a feeling she'll get the 2 turns. I'm not sure she's a closing sprinter just yet.
We'll see. To me, that was the main question. I actually like all 3 of her races. I think she's run really well all 3 times. Just had way too much to do. Schuylerville opening day at Saratoga, where you just had to be forward to win. This horse was way too far back, ran in that race. Spin away last time, way too far back, ran at the end of that race. I'm more worried than you are that she's a closing sprinter, Dad. I don't like betting those types of horses, but I think she's got a little bit of talent.
Liam in the Dust, I think, could be the speed of the speed. She shrugged off pace pressure to win her career debut, going a demanding 7/8 of a mile at Ellis Park. And then last time out at Churchill Downs, she drew a terrible post position in the Pocahontas, 14 of 14. And not only that, she was contesting a fast pace all the way around the track and just got nipped on the wire. She ran a winning race that day.
I agree with you. And the horse that closed her down too might actually be pretty good for Mark Casse. So that I really liked her performance last time. I thought she ran really well from a difficult post. I also liked her debut that they went 7 with her too. It's not like they started her out in shorter races, Dan. She was forward. She did a lot of hard work in there. She responded when Saez asked her to go in the stretch. Now she gets Pratt. Listen, I wasn't as convinced that as you are, or you seem to be, that she had to be on the lead in here, but I think she's going to be forward and might get a really good trip.
As you mentioned, if she's not on the lead, it could be the 4, Rich City Girl, stretching out off 3 consecutive sprints. She won going 5.5 at Ellis Park in speedy fashion. She showed good speed in the debutante at Ellis Park. That was a fast-paced race, and she ran a good second. And then last time out on turf at Kentucky Downs, she showed she could handle that quirky turf course after being up and on the pace. So I think that built a lot of fitness for her, Mike. Going 6.5 at Kentucky Downs might help her stay this mile in a 16th.
I agree with that, but now she just has to prove that she can go with these horses. She obviously hasn't been in, sort of the tougher races that some of her rivals have been in, but there are things to point her out for a guy who does really good work with his 2-year-olds. I just suspect she'll be part of the pace in here. We'll see if she's still around at the end.
If you're betting the 5, the Queen's MG all along, she doesn't owe you anything because she won her debut at 45-1. She won the Schuylerville at 44-1. And then in the Adirondack 2 starts back, she dominated that field. They ran her in the spin-away last time out, and it didn't work out. Was it a case where they stepped her up against tougher company and it didn't work out? Or she had a ready-made excuse? It's a muddy track. She might not have liked it. She could be coming into this race a big price pop again.
Yeah, that's true. You really can't. There's no upside in knocking her now, Dan. She's already pulled off 2 big upsets. She's already a graded stakes winner. Maybe the wet track, is enough of an excuse last time. Although I did not think that she ran well in that race, and I'm not so sure that stretching out is really going to help her that much.
Quick Kick raced twice at Saratoga for trainer Tom Amos. I thought she gave a very useful debut behind La Cara, who of course came back to win the Pocahontas in-out closing trip, finishing 3rd behind 2 experienced runners. Amos put the blinkers on, caught a field mostly of first-time starters when she scored in this race at Saratoga, and a similar in-out trip under Dylan Davis, this time Quick Kick kicks.
Yeah, she was much improved, much more focused as a second-time starter with blinkers. I'm just super green early in her debut and actually did show some promise there. Just did just about everything right in here, Dan. Sort of moved forward up the backstretch, was in position when this field came into the stretch, and she's just easily got the best finish in here to close this race down. I think there's better to come for this filly, and she's bred to stretch out.
Just a ton of class and distance, as you mentioned, Mike. The dam was a grade 3 stakes winning dirt sprinter, but just consider the horses she's foaled. Seymour Deeney got good for a hot minute in New York for Linda Rice, especially on a wet track. He was a stakes winner going long. Callie Starr was a grade 3 winner going a mile on the dirt. Delightful Joy, a grade 3 winner routing as well. Off 2-7 furlong sprints, she should be plenty fit. Quiet Side was a very impressive debut winner for John Ortiz, going 3/4 of a mile. And oh, that's a tough beat last time out in the spin away. Outside post and also broke outward, then rushed up and dueled on a fast pace while 4 wide, makes a clear lead in the stretch and just gets kicked down late. I won't argue with anyone that says she ran the best race.
I won't either. And listen, the winner of that race, who we'll get to next, also ran really well in there, but this horse didn't really get, the kind of trip that's going to lead to success in many grade 1 races. And she really ran in there. Also, just really liked her debut, Dan. She was super handy in that race, super professional for a first-time starter, won that race for fun, and then backed it up in a big way in a grade 1 last time.
Let's talk about Immersive, the spin-away winner, who beat 3 of those in this race. She won her debut at a big price, shocking considering the connections, Brad Cox, Godolphin, and then she was a big price again in the spin-away. Quiet Side's done a lot of dirty work. She was battling 4 wide on a fast pace, put away her 3 pace challengers, has the lead at the 3/16 pole. Immersive, I thought, worked out a pretty good trip tracking 3 horses on the backstretch, gets to the outside, but she was scrubbed on and grinds like a horse that might appreciate even a little more distance.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, again, I don't really want to take anything away from Immersive. Did I think she maybe got the better trip in here and took advantage? Yeah, that's how I looked at the race, but she still really ran in there. And it's not like she came from a million out of it into a fast pace. I mean, she was pretty close to that pace throughout the running, in a perfect spot around the turn, got clear, ran at the end. I like both of her starts, Dan.
Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for Friday's race of the day. It's the grade 1 Alcibiades. You're going with a little reversal. Quiet Side turning the tables on Immersive.
Going to see, yeah, she can maybe pull out maybe a little bit of a better tripper. I think these 2 horses are pretty close as far as talent goes, at least based on that spin away. I'll try Quiet Side this time and hope things work more to her advantage. If I was going to play against them, Dan, I would do it with a 6 Quick Kick.
The 8 and the 7, I think, are the two horses to beat. I think you have the right top two. Continuity is just interesting to me because she has that route pedigree. I like this inside post. I think it really helps to save ground with the short stretch in here, and maybe she can just tuck in behind. She is going to have to improve stepping up, but she's looked good in both starts, and she's going to be a big price. 7863 for Mike, 1876 for me. It's the Grade 1 Alcibiades, and it's a prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Hey, buddy, you look like you're in need of a winner. And just remember, if you like and subscribe right over here, you can get all of the great content on DRF.com, including Race of the Day, stakes previews, and lots more, featuring me and my superb selections. Trust me, you're not going to regret it.